Hello, and welcome to Combo Breakdown! Today we're talking about an older card and a new version of it. Yes, it's a 2-card special, Stuffy Doll and Brash Taunter. Stuffy Doll is a 5-cost 0/1 indestructible artifact creature that says as it enters, you choose an opponent. Whenever Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, you deal that much damage to the chosen player. And you can tap Stuffy Doll to deal 1 damage to itself. Brash Taunter is an updated version in a goblin form. For 4 and 1 red, you get a 1/1 indestructible goblin that says whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. And you can pay 2 and a red and tap the Taunter to have it fight another creature. So Brash Taunter is better as it can hit any player, and it can deal more damage to itself depending on the creature's out. So what's the combo? Well, the obvious thing to do is to deal massive damage to these creatures. Easy to do with cards like Blasphemous Act, Into the Maw of Hell, and Star of Extinction. Deal a ton of damage to these creatures and they deal a ton of damage to an opponent. But let's get jankier. If you slap Pariah or Pariah's Shield on the Taunter, whenever you get dealt damage, the Taunter gets dealt damage instead, which means an opponent gets dealt damage. But if you target the Taunter with Arc Bond, we can loop damage until all opponents are dead. Arc Bond says, choose a creature. Whenever that creature is dealt damage this turn, it deals that much damage to each other creature and each player. So if you cast Arc Bond and then you're dealt 5 damage, that 5 damage is dealt to the Taunter instead. And since the Taunter is dealt damage, you can deal 5 damage to an opponent. But the Taunter also deals 5 damage to each other creature and each player, including you. But that 5 damage dealt to you is then redirected back to the Taunter to repeat the process again. This will keep looping over and over again until your opponents are dead or someone exiles the Taunter. But we can condense this combo down to just 2 cards. Guilty Conscious is an aura that says whenever enchanted creature deals damage, Guilty Conscious deals that much damage to the enchanted creature. So, if your Taunter is enchanted and is dealt 2 damage, it deals 2 damage to a player. But since the Taunter dealt damage, Guilty Conscience deals 2 damage to the Taunter. And since the Taunter was just dealt 2 damage, it gets to deal 2 more damage to an opponent, making a loop that keeps going and going and going until the Taunter is removed or all opponents are dead. Volcano Hellion is an odd creature that says when it enters it deals an amount of damage to you and target creature, but you get to choose that amount. So you can choose 39 damage, and the Hellion deals 39 damage to you and 39 damage to a creature, probably your Taunter or Stuffy Doll. Now while this would probably kill an opponent, you would be left at 1 life, not the best position to be in. But one way to get around this is to either have Pariah on your Stuffy Doll, so the doll basically gets dealt damage twice, or you can give your Stuffy Doll or Hellion lifelink so you gain back the life from the damage that was dealt to you. Another way to benefit off your doll is to play it with Nin the Pain Artist, that says you can pay X a blue and a red and tap Nin to deal X damage to a creature. That creature's controller draws X cards. So pay X mana, deal X damage to your Stuffy Doll, which deals X damage to an opponent, and then you get to draw X cards. Pretty good value. Finally, just so you know, these 2 creatures aren't the only cards with this damage ability. You also have Spite Mare, True Fire Captain, Spiteful Sliver, Boros Reckoner, Mog Maniac, and Coal Hauler Swine. No, forget that one. That deals damage to each player. Ignore that one for now. But they all have the similar damage dealing effect, except unlike Stuffy Doll and the Taunter, these guys are not indestructible. So any large amount of damage will likely kill them in the process. But if you can find a way to give them indestructible, like with Boros Charm, you essentially have 5 more copies of Brash Taunter. And those are some combos with Brash Taunter and Stuffy Doll. Have you ever played this Boros strategy before? How did it turn out? Let me know down below. And when you need another combo, come back here to Combo Breakdown.